G'day headbangers and welcome to Dazzle Metalworks. Welcome back my fellow metalheads to another edition of Dazzle's Metalworks. Yes, we're back into doing another year and I'm going to do the lovely year of 2002. Beginning of the beginning of the new century and all that kind of shit. Yeah, most of the stuff was pretty easy to pick for that year. Some good ones that year. Had to study a few extra ones, of course. So I'm going to start off at number 10. We have Abigail 2, The Revenge by King Diamond. Look, you can't beat the first Abigail album. That was an absolute rip snorter, which is even better than a banger. So yeah, but look, I'll go with Miriam, The Crypt and Spirits as my top 3 favourite tracks. Again, King Diamond loves his horror, and all his albums are pretty much concept albums, so horror and stuff like that, which is great. And it is a direct sequel from the album done way back when. So yeah, get into it. Okay, number 9 was, I think, I can't remember the last time I actually listened to this album. I don't think the band's around anymore. Suicide by My Side by Synergy, headed by the lovely Kimberly Goss. You know, she was a freaking great singer. One of my favourite metal songs was from them, Spit on Your Grave. Not sure if it was actually based on the old horror thriller slasher movies, but don't know. Then Written in Stone at number 2. Number 3 we have Passage to the Fourth Wall. So that wasn't too bad. Okay, number 8. Coma Lies by Lacuna Coil. Now, this album is the album that got me into Lacuna Coil. Probably not my favourite album from them by a long shot, but you know, get special points because they got me into them. So number 1 we have Swamped. Number 2 we have Heaven's a Lie, which is the song that got me into Lacuna Coil. And rounding out the 3 is The Prophet Said. So yeah, and I've met Lacuna Coil in person, great bunch of people, and Chicky Babe, so yeah. Okay, number 7 we have A Night of the Opera by Blind Guardian, not to be confused with The Night of the Opera by Queen. Both great albums though. But number 1, definitely without a shadow of a doubt, is Precious Jerusalem. Then Battlefield at number 2, and then Under the Ice at number 3. So basically the first 3 songs from that album were absolute freaking bangers. So yeah, get that in here. Okay, number 6, had a bit of a listen to this to pick up 1 or 2 extra tracks. Believe by Disturbed. Gotta love the cover. It's a picture of all the religious symbols. The Cross of Christianity, Star of David, and all that kind of weird stuff popped in. Yeah, representing all religions, or percentage of religions, I guess. But yeah, track number 1 we have Liberate. Track number 2 we have Intoxication. And track number 3, title track Believe. Pretty decent album. Probably not as good as the albums after it, but you know, still pretty good nonetheless. Now, number 5 we have Happenstance by Fozzy. Now, this one was a bit hard to pick because they have 3 or 4 tracks that are their own, and the rest are all covers. So as opposed to picking all the covers, I actually went with the ones that they wrote. So To Kill a Stranger at number 1, Crucify Yourself at number 2, and Happenstance at number 3. There wasn't one more they did which was their own, but the rest are all covers, you know, which I don't really want to put in there, so there you go. Okay, number 4 we have Century Child by Nightwish. Not the album that got me into Nightwish, but it's a freaking damn good album to boot, seriously. Number 1 has been probably one of my favourite Nightwish songs for many years now. Not my favourite, but one of my faves. Slaying the Dreamer. God, the riff at the start of that is amazing. Number 2, End of All Hope. And number 3, Dead to the World. But an honourable mention to Phantom of the Opera. And I'm talking about the Iron Maiden Phantom of the Opera. I'm actually talking about Phantom of the Opera by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Great album, great song, great riff. Great song. 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 proves just how good Taria's pipes were back in the day. So yeah. Okay, number 3 we have Crimson Thunder by Hammerfall. Now this one probably could have been up higher on the list because the whole album is an absolute banger. It's fantastic, love every song. So this is why at number 1 I've got Hearts on Fire, the song that got me into them. Number 2, Dreams Come True, the power ballad, which is an amazing track. And number 3 is the rest of the album. That's how hard it was for me to pick a 3. I took Mandy's advice and just said, yeah, bugger it. Number 3 is the rest of the album because it's all freaking great, seriously. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, we have 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence by none other than the best progressive metal band in the world, Dream Theater. Now this album, probably one of the lamest covers I've ever seen by a metal band. Come on, boys, what are you doing? But my top 3 favourite tracks is The Glass Prison. Oh god damn, that song's a freaking ripstormer. Mike Portnoy, the Octopus, and the drumming in the beginning of that song is like fair crack of the whip. Then number 2, The Great Debate. Love this song. A lot of news clip speaking parts in it. And it's about the whole debate from medical point of view and the human rights about stem cell research, which I always found interesting. So yeah, and then number 3 we have Misunderstood, which is more of a ballad, but yeah, the whole album is pretty good. Then you got the last track that fills up a whole CD because it goes for 45 minutes. So yeah, bugging me with a pitchfork. Alright, number 1 we have Warriors of the World by Manowar. Yes, the kings of power metal. What can I say? You know, these guys are freaking brilliant. The album before it was pretty lame, but this album they came back with a freaking vengeance. Warriors of the World United, absolute banger of a track there. House of Death at number 2 and Call to Arms at number 3. Again, the whole album is pretty good. There's one song I would have liked to play to my old man, which before he passed away, which was Nesu Dorma. His dad liked that type of music, so he probably would have appreciated it, but never got to play him. Rest in peace, Dad. But yeah, so that's my top pick for 2002, boys and girls. It was a pretty decent year, you know, start of the new century. Now, to round off this episode of Dozes of Metalworks, I want to do some random shit. Now, the big news during the week, if you would have seen it, Black Sabbath announced their final show ever, called Back to the Beginning, featuring the original members of Black Sabbath, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, Ozzy Osbourne and Bill Ward. Saturday, 5th of July at Villa Park, Birmingham, England. And obviously the big names that they put on the list: Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, Gojira, Hailstorm, Alice in Chains, Lamb of God, Anthrax and Mastodon. Now they do have other things on names on the list, but those are the main ones. So that'll be one hell of a goddamn show. Even Mandy had said, yeah, let's go over to England. I went, yeah, with what money? But yeah, it's going to be an end of an era. But if they are smart, they'll do what a few metal bands have done, like Bon Jovi and Sabaton, how they'll broadcast the show in cinemas worldwide and most likely release a DVD afterwards, so they'll still rake in the money. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. But in the sad news about Ozzy, I saw just this morning that because of his Parkinson's, he's now confined to a wheelchair permanently and he cannot walk anymore. So that sucks because Ozzy is a freaking goddamn legend and Black Sabbath are the grandfathers of heavy metal. So yeah, hopefully he can last till then. Also, during the week, I think it was yesterday, oh God, I felt the love yesterday, boys and girls. Arch Enemy dropped their brand new single, I think it was called Paper Tiger or something like that. Absolutely fantastic. It's like, these guys are brilliant. Spirit Box dropped their brand new single as well. Absolutely fantastic. And the fact that Arch Enemy and Spirit Box have both got albums coming out this year, so I'm looking forward to that. And I listened to on Spotify Dream Theater's brand new album Parasomnia. Listened to it all the way through, listening to it again in the car at the moment, driving over Rexy's. Oh my God, boys and girls, this new album is an absolute banger. Seriously, it's good to see Dream Theater back to their classic lineup, pumping out such awesome shit, seriously. Probably one or two tracks that are kind of meh, but the rest of it, oh, it's heavy and good. That's all I can say on that one. And finally, even though I don't really think much of the and so on and so forth, I do congratulate Gojira for taking our best metal performance at this year's Oscar, even though I wouldn't have chosen them. I would have chosen Metallica. Judas Priest or Spirit Box ahead of them, but you know, good on them for winning it anyway. But anyway, my fellow metalheads, that's this week's edition of Dazzled Metalworks. And until next time, mosh on.